The Supreme Court, in its ultimate wisdom, has decided to degrade the American quality of life once again. On a personal basis, we now can be classified as enemies of the state. If you are, in a professional basis at work, if you text messages using your work's infrastructure, your computers that you might be provided by work, or if via email, or if you use a text messaging device or a cell phone, whatever you say on that device can be used against you not only in a court of law, but also by your employer, who can quickly ass launch you from his company and destroy your ability to get a new job in this kind of twittered environment. If you want to know more about that, send an email and I will write you back regarding the longer trend. In terms of being declared an enemy of the state, I think that might be our fate here on YouTube. But if you, right now, there are humanitarian organizations who are trying to talk to groups which the U.S. objects to. And this line of communication has now been broken. It seems that these humanitarian organizations are now at risk by talking to anyone perceived as an enemy of the country. Sooner or later, this can be you or I. Now, I've been trying to get people onto a pathway, and that pathway is called The Critical Path by Buckminster Fuller. And here's a picture of him. And if you send me a picture, I'll put you up in one of these videos. But this book describes the kinds of history you need and the outlook that you need to understand what's going on today and to work to solution points, something that no one else, I don't think, is really doing. So by reading this book, you will get a better idea of what the solutions are in our current malaise, and you'll get an idea of how to think about things, so that you're on a constructive framework, not just an emotional reaction which the media is trying to garner for you. Now, I'm also working to see that companies behave in a way that is utility-based. What I mean by this is that when you turn on a light bulb, the lights go on. But guess what? When you turn on the media on your TV, the news should come out. And that doesn't happen. What happens is a bunch of parroting, which echoes across the internet and is soon forgotten, because this news is really entertainment. I'm looking to find that financial companies work as utilities, which means they help form the capital that we need to start businesses here in this country. But the trajectories that were going on, if you look at the Supreme Court, and if you look at finance and other trajectories that our society is going on, you'll find that they're moving away from the critical path towards a disastrous situation. And instead of being divided and conquered across ideologies, we really need to think about the trajectories which we are on at this very moment. Are we on a trajectory between crisis and stability? I would say that right now we're deep into crisis. Are we as individuals specialized or informed? Specialized means that you only look at something that's very narrow, or informed enough to see that corporations are really utilities that we depend on, and that each of them needs to have a social responsibility clause as part of their charter. If they do not work to the public good, they have no business being here. Most people that watch these videos are looking to be entertained. Instead, are they looking to be informed? What's the trajectory there? And what would the meter read for the American public? Are people ideologues, where they're looking for a specific branding of political idea and thus are divided? Or are they free thinkers, where they're going to understand that in order to support itself, we need to have structure? Fuller suggests that we need at least 6 trajectories to make a structure. And then we have sort of this triangle that can stand on itself. In this country, the Supreme Court shows that we're moving more towards tyranny. In reality, we all sort of strive to have individual freedom, yet the trajectory is truly tyranny. In our economic world, our trajectory is towards the financial and away from the physical world. In terms of legality, more and more things are becoming illegal, which means that the dissemination of information is becoming very difficult. Really, the opposite to legal is what is possible. We need to have more possibilities for us in terms of technology and in terms of distributing information, especially about the British petroleum spill. Right now, people are subject to manipulation because the opposite of that might be a trajectory of consideration. Most people are on the trajectory of being sedated, where they really need to be aware. And when you add this all up, people are more frightened than they are secure. Instead of looking at black and white issues, here we're looking at trajectories. In terms of trajectories, were I to take 1929 as a starting point and add 80 years, we would get 2009, a point where everyone realized the system was becoming unglued. We had many things going on in 1929, such as the foundation points of art oppression, and also the ascension of Adolf Hitler. No wonder that our trajectories seem so similar. When we are currently in a crisis, so specialized, fearful, and ignorant, that we are looking for anyone that can be entertaining to lead us out of this sedated malaise, where our financial prospects have deteriorated so that we are ignorant of what this dictator might do for us. But we think that he might lead us to a place better than today. Let's take the high road and look for the critical path.